Welcome back to It Could Be Your Eyes. Today I am joined by a very special guest. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Wesley. I'm 8 years old, and I'm from Stamford, Connecticut.
And Wesley just happens to be related to someone very important to It Could Be Your Eyes. Who's your mom?
Juanita Collier.
Dr. Juanita Collier is Wesley's mom. So we're really excited to talk to Wesley, though, because Wesley can give us a kid's perspective on what a process of going to a behavioral optometrist is like and doing vision therapy and all of that. So we're going to get into it. So Wesley, obviously you've been coming to 4D since you were an infant, little
Mm-hmm.
teeny babe. But can you tell our listeners about what an eye exam is like?
So, usually an eye exam, they, ask you some questions, and one of those questions is, there's, this big board, and you have to, read words that are, small to big, and they have to see if you could see those words that are, very tiny.
So yeah, so you're talking about we start with the up close, that
Mm-hmm.
board, right? And some of the words are really big and then some of the words are really tiny, and we want to see how clear you can read up
Yeah.
close. And we ask you to actually read words, right? They're like
Mm-hmm.
sentences. It's not just like A, X, E,
Mm-hmm.
right? Okay. And then what else? What happens next?
In another eye exam, usually, they put this drop in your eye. It stings for a little bit, but after that, you're fine, and it doesn't really sting anymore.
Yeah. So sometimes we have to put those dilating drops in your eyes. But the good news is that only happens like once every 2 years, right?
Yeah.
And that's all about looking at the eye health of the health of your eyes, right? So then the doctor can shine the lights inside your eye and see the back of your eyeball and make sure everything's nice and healthy and all that good
Mhm.
stuff. So it stings just a little bit.
Yeah.
Is it kind of like getting water in your eyes?
Not exactly.
Not exactly. Okay. Does it hurt more or less?
A little bit more, but doesn't really hurt that much.
It goes away pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But you get kind of blurry. Okay. So we've got the dilating drops. We see how clear we can see up close. Do we see how clear we can see far away?
Yeah.
So you have to read things that are far, far away.
Mhm.
And then you were also telling me about there's another part where the doctor kind of makes things look too.
Mhm. Like in the exam room, there's this TV, and then the doctor has this exam thing that they put in front of your face, and they split your eyes. Look like the TV's splitting, and the doctor said if you could put it back into one TV.
Yeah. So what she's looking at in that is that she's using special lenses called prisms. And using the prisms, she makes something look like it's going farther away from you, and your eyes have to you make things coordinate as it's moving far away from you.
Mhm.
And then it's like she's making things look like they're moving up closer to you.
Mhm.
And you have to make your eyes work together as they come closer to you,
Mhm.
right? And so she's trying to measure how well your eyes work together as a team when you're looking at something going away and when you're looking at something coming up close,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And another thing that we do at your eye exams and that we do here at 4D is that we look at your processing, right? So we
Mhm.
do eye games where we look at your memory, or I'll ask you to write a sentence, or I'll ask you to draw pictures, stuff like that,
Mhm.
right? Because we got to see how that whole brain is working with your eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And do you need glasses?
No.
No, you don't. That's pretty
Mm-mm.
cool. But we tested to make sure that you didn't.
Mhm.
Do you remember what your eyes used to do when you were trying to use your two eyes together as a team?
In reading, it's kind of hard to read because my my right eye kind of made words two, and I couldn't really concentrate on one word.
Yeah, yeah. So what happened with your eyes was that when they were trying to read, they were trying to both look at the page, but your eyes kind of floated out a little bit too much.
Mm-hmm.
And so when they did that, it's almost like the words became double, and your
Mm-hmm.
brain was having a hard time figuring out which one you should be paying attention to, right?
Mm-hmm.
And especially the right eye one wasn't as clear as the one on the left. Yeah, yeah. So what did we do about it?
Well, we went to 4D to like check out my right eye, and it wasn't like bad. Nothing actually very happened to it. Just we had to like see if I could see words clearly, and after my eye exam, like I could read words a lot better, and yeah, a lot of books been much easier to read.
That's awesome, right? Because then it's not even just like you said, you don't need glasses, right?
Mhm.
We didn't give you glasses, but we did eye exercises.
Mhm.
Hmm. And so you came to 4D and did some eye exercises with me,
Yeah.
and you did some eye exercises at home
Mhm.
with mom and your sister and the whole crew.
Mhm.
And so what was your favorite vision therapy activity?
Huh. I had a lot of ones, but my favorite one is slap tap.
Slap tap. Can you describe it?
Like there's P in a Q and a D in a B, and that describes like your hands and your feet. And like if it's a Q, you would put out your left hand. If it's a P, you would put out this hand.
Mm-hmm.
And if it was a D, you would stomp your left foot. If it's a D, wait,
Wait.
D, you would
Yeah.
stomp your right foot.
Good job. Good. That was good visualization and using your laterality skills. High five. Nice. So that kind of activity, you're like moving your whole body.
Mhm.
So it's kind of fun. And then also in slap tap, like there are different levels, right?
Yeah.
So it gets a little harder. There are more bubbles all at once.
Mhm.
You have to like slap your table or tap feet and that kind of thing.
Mhm.
Yeah. Awesome. What was the hardest exercise?
Mm. Oh, let's see. Think it was the name of it, but it was like mid-gen tracking.
Michigan.
Yeah,
Michigan
Michigan
tracking.
tracking.
Yeah. What do you have
And
to do with that?
you have to like find ABCs and like nonsense words, and it's kind of hard to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Took a lot of practice, and
Mm-hmm.
also my brothers and sisters did that too.
Yeah.
We usually did it every morning before school.
Oh, that's great. That's a good like warm up, right?
Mhm.
It's like you have to there's all those nonsense words and you have to pick out the important thing and make your
Mhm.
eyes move and follow. Now, okay, so doing it with your brother and sisters, did you guys like ever race or did you ever have competitions? Oh
Sometimes.
yeah?
Mhm.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah.
That would be kind of tricky. Fun. I like that.
Mhm.
Okay. So, was there anything else? Any other activities you want to talk about?
I think so.
No? Okay. Cool. And then, so what did vision therapy help you with?
Like reading, seeing clearly with my right eye.
Mm-hmm.
It helped me better in math because I was kind of behind the Mad Minute at school.
Oh, Mad Minute. Yes. Mad Minute. For our friends that don't know what Mad Minute is, do you want to describe that?
At school, Mad Minute is like we have 3 minutes to solve like usually there's like 30 problems or like 15 problems.
A lot of
And
problems.
like it goes from A, B, C, D, such as A25. There's different levels from plus division multiplication. I'm still in division because I don't really get all the problems.
Okay. Yeah, but that's something you can work on. And I imagine if your eyes are still seeing double and you have a page full of all these math problems that you have to do fast, was it hard to be able to like do the math problems that were looking like kind of almost double and like swimmy?
Yeah.
Yeah. And once they were single, then it wasn't a problem anymore.
Mhm.
So thought, yeah, that would be cool. All right. So then since you could see better and you could read better and you could do math better. Tell us about what are the best books for 8-year-olds?
For me, I have a good vision for I Survived.
Mm-hmm.
I Survived tells you a lot of backstories of things that happened, like the Twin Towers and
Mm-hmm. Which
like
one are you reading now?
right now I'm reading the Japanese tsunami. It's
Very
kind
cool.
of interesting because for International Day at school, I'm doing Japan, so that's very interesting to read.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of heartbreaking parts of the story.
Yeah. A lot of those I Survived stories are all about very heartbreaking things.
Yeah.
Yeah. My son likes those too. There's the
Mhm.
Titanic, and he just read the Black Death. And what else have I seen him reading? There's the Dust Bowl, all
Mhm.
sorts of them. Yeah. So those are good ones. Okay, cool. And did you know that there are graphic novels of those too?
Mhm.
Have you ever read those?
Not yet.
No.
I'm almost done with the series, but I'm gonna read the graphic novels after I finish the tsunami one and some of the other ones.
Yeah. Well, the regular series has a lot of words in it,
Mhm.
and the graphic novels, they have a lot of words too, but they're kind of like spaced out. Do you think if you were still seeing double, which one would be easier to read?
I think the graphic novel, because if they're spaced out, I could focus on one word at a time.
Exactly. Yeah. So would you think that if there were some kids who would prefer reading the graphic novel rather than the regular books, do you think they should get their eyes checked?
Uh, if they're reading the graphic novel and nothing's really happening,
Mm-hmm.
then I don't think they should,
Okay.
because if they're reading the I Survived original, then if anything's wrong with their eyes and they're seeing two, I think they should probably check it out. But
Yeah.
if nothing's exactly happening and
Do
you
you
feel
think
fine, then
okay. Then if you feel fine, you feel fine.
yeah.
Yeah. You know what some of the kids that come here tell me though sometimes is that like they never knew they saw double because that's like how they've always seen, you
Hmm.
know? Like how you see is how you see, like all the time.
Mhm.
And no one else lives inside Wesley's brain, right?
Mhm.
Okay. But maybe like you knew you were seeing double because like your mom's your mom. And we
Mhm.
talk about that stuff like
Mhm.
all the time.
Mhm.
But if you didn't know, do you think like maybe you wouldn't know there was something wrong? You just know that it's easier to read a graphic novel rather than like a regular book?
I think I would like think something was wrong, but I would probably get used to it.
Yeah. Okay.
Instead, my mom was like, "Wesley, you're seeing two." Then I'd probably realize that, and my mom would check me out and see if anything was wrong.
Mhm. Mhm. Okay. So you feel like you would have a feeling that there's something else. There's
Mhm.
something off. And that reading would be harder than it needs to be.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. So then you think coming to an eye doctor who would say, "Hey, you're seeing too," that would be helpful to those kids?
Mhm.
Okay. Good. So then what about that? What advice do you have for other kids that like, maybe if they need an eye exam, what would you tell them?
Well, my mom's a very good eye doctor.
We like to think
Uh,
so.
you should practice your stuff like every day you can,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
and you should try hard even when it's the hard stuff that you get like
Like the hard exercises.
yeah,
They
hard
should stick through it
exercises.
even when it's hard.
You should try to practice every time you can.
Mhm. Definitely.
Mhm.
Cuz that consistency that pays off,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So if you do it like every morning before school, like you guys did, then soon enough school is easier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Cool.
Mhm.
Anything else that we should tell everyone who's listening?
I think so.
Okay. Cool. Well then, thank you for joining me, Wesley.
You're welcome.
And thank you, all of you listeners, for joining us on It Could Be Your Eyes. We'll see you next time.